Hey everyone. Um, I've been meaning to put out this video for quite some time, but I'm only just now getting to it because I've been seeing a certain Ukrainian gentleman having quite a bit of trouble in the comments of my last Guitarix video, now going on 2 years old. And he was having a lot of trouble doing it, and it occurred to me, why why do it this way? There's been a much better way of doing this for quite some time now. And I realized looking on YouTube that there's still not much in the way of showing how you do this in as of the last couple of years. So I wanted to show the new way of doing this, and it is, to be clear, makes all of my previous setting up Jack and uh, by extension Guitarix videos obsolete. So this was the old way. You had to get the Jack Damon, and you needed to get the KX Studios repository as of my last video on this, and from that repository you got Cadence to configure and start and stop your Jack server, and Cadia was the routing patch bay for when you had Jack running. Fortunately, you don't have to do this anymore, which is great news probably for most people, because doing it this way kind of sucks, and it's a little unpredictable. It doesn't interface well with your system audio. Like back then, you might have been using either Pipewire or Pulse Audio, maybe even ALSA. These days, the standard is Pipewire universally. So the good news is there's a cool package here called Pipewire Jack, and that's going to be the star of the show here. And what it does is effectively interfaces Pipewire and Jack. So I have that installed along with a Pipewire compatible routing patch bay, and in my case I'm going to use Helvum. I have these both installed, and I'm already good to go. I could open up Guitarix right now and works right out the box. I didn't need to open anything. We're good. As for how you get these pieces of software, very easy. How you'd get 99% of your other packages is through the standard apt or apt repository. So you do your sudo apt install pipewire jack, and in my case Helvum, but really any pipewire compatible routing patch bay will work just fine. Um, so yeah, you can just right off the bat, you can get this going, mess around with your instruments. Once you have it set up, of course. I will briefly show you how to correctly route things, even though it is basically the same as my previous videos, because at the end of the day, you're still using Jack. You just don't have to go through the hassle of starting it up and configuring it and things like that. It just interfaces with your system audio, um, which is the expectation for every other platform, Mac and Windows, basically. But we're now recently, as of recently, we got this ourselves on Linux, so pretty nice. To kind of explain what's going on here, the reason you are able to hear what you can hear now is, which hopefully you can hear. Yep, that you can. Perfect. Um, the reason you can hear what you're hearing now, and the reason I can also hear it, is because we're routing from the source, which is my audio interface here, and we're routing that into the amplifier head of Guitarix. So if you were to just take the output of this and send it directly to your audio device, your speakers, your headphones, whatever, or your OBS, it would just sound like the amplifier for Guitarix, and you could hear the raw um, output of your instrument. But if you want effects, which is kind of the main point of using something like Guitarix, you'd channel that into your effects chain and then send that out through your playback or into OBS, or from your effects chain into maybe like a DAW like Reaper, um, or Ardour or Ableton. Send that into there, and you're getting playback through there with pre-baked FX chains, or you can just add a FX in the DAW. But point is, you can route everything wherever you're trying to send any device that captures. You can route it through whichever piece of software and through whichever output device. So yeah, through your FX chain into my audio and from the monitor of my headphones, it's sending it into OBS so that you can hear. Um, if I were to take it directly from the FX chain to OBS, the same exact thing. So matter of fact, I think it's even just duplicating it for you. So I'm just going to remove that and bam, you're already getting output directly from the FX chain. Okay. And yeah, this is great. This is great. But this is just Guitarix, right? Most people would probably be more interested in running this through a DAW and actually record your instrument. That's generally why most people choose to do things on a PC. So, in my case, I'll use Reaper, but pretty much the same will apply to any other. Oh, hearing myself currently, but as of opening Reaper, you'll notice this is in here. And before I say anything else, let me just cut the input here. There we go. So you can't hear anything yet, but as far as I'm concerned, the routing, I just need to set this up automatically. The routing automatically set to inputs 3 and 4 for me from the audio interface into the inputs for Reaper. And the two outputs for Reaper are getting sent into my headphones. So if I play recording and I select the correct input, which for me would be input 4, you can't hear this yet because I haven't routed it into OBS. But taking this, putting it in there, and you should be able to hear now. And there we go. Once you do that, you can just record whatever you like, and works very well. Generally, once you set it up once, you shouldn't have to do it again. Um, in Reaper is a little bit of a weird case where sometimes it likes to reset itself to like its considered default. But in that case, you just open your patch bay and you route it in correctly, and you do your session, you do your recording, whatever you like to do. Um, that's basically it. 80% of this video was showing how to use the patch bay, but at the end of the day, getting this up and running is much simpler than it used to be. So that's been all. I hope this served as some use for you guys. Take care.